could easily tell you, just as you hear from other people, go meditate or go and read or go fishing or go, you need to change your job. Wait a second. First of all, let's check your life and see how those areas are actually influencing on your overall health and well-being. I think everything starts from assessing your life, seeing how all areas of your life are connected and which ones they actually need a little bit of love and more support. Because there is no such a thing as a magical formula. I could easily tell you, just as you hear from other people, go meditate or go and read or go fishing or go, you need to change your job. Wait a second. First of all, let's check your life and see how those areas are actually influencing on your overall health and well-being. For an example, the way that you eat is going to impact your sleep. The way that you sleep is going to impact on your mood. Your mood is going to impact on your relationships with your loved ones, at work, your performance. You see how everything is connected? So I cannot just give you one thing here or one thing there. No, we need to have a personalized plan. I need to take into consideration your unique needs, your unique lifestyle and preferences to create a customized plan for you. Because what's good for me might not be good for you. I cannot tell you to eat the way that I eat or to live your life the way that I live my life, because I have found the formula of what works for me. And I want to find a formula of what works for you as well. I love this question. What's the role of nutrition in our mental well-being? A big one, for sure. I truly believe that food is actually medicine. That the real pharmacy is in the farm, not the pharmacies that we see out there full of drugs and pills that are just creating sometimes more problems, or actually distracting ourselves from doing the real work, assessing the root cause of our problems. So imagine, for an example, that you eat something that was made with love. Imagine that you go to your grandma's house and she wants to please you, and then she cooked this homemade food. How does it taste and how does it make you feel? I think it's pretty different than if you go to a fast food chain and you just have something on the go. How do you feel? Especially if you eat in that environment that's very loud and you don't really focus on what you are eating. I'm talking about mindful eating because it's really important that we understand it's not only about what's in our plate, but where we eat, how we eat, what we eat, with who we eat, and when we eat as well. Those details, they are really, really important. So for an example, I know that there are certain foods that I eat and they create distress in my body. They will trigger, something to go wrong, and then I'll feel bloated. I can actually, break out depending on the food, especially if they create allergies in my body, if they create inflammation inside my body as well. So it's important that I understand the whole chain. How one food will create a problem. It can lead to leaky gut, for an example, and this condition that will actually help for toxins and bacteria to enter my bloodstream. And they will create havoc in my body, will create inflammation, it will lead to stress, and it will actually impact on my mood, it will impact on my overall sense of well-being. So it's important that we understand how everything is connected and not only prioritize the type of food that we eat, right? Understand that things have changed so much in the last 70 years, especially with the addition of so many new chemicals and pesticides and products that are just, instilling so much nasty stuff in the food that we eat, in the water that we drink, in the air that we breathe. So it's important that we take those things into consideration as well, because even if your plate looks perfect, depending on where this food comes from, it can be depleted of nutrients, and it can also be full of pesticides and these things that will create havoc in your body as well. So again, the questions and the answers, they are not so black and white as we tend to think. And I understand that this world of nutrition is very confusing, but I'm here to clarify those things for you. So does sleeping help with your stress? Yes, but there is a caveat, of course. It really depends on the quality and the quantity of your sleep, because not every sleep is the same. What I'm talking about is, it's important that we monitor your sleep at night. There are certain apps that they help us to do that. Technology is beautiful for that, right? So we can see the waves of your sleep at night. We actually see if in the first half of your sleep that we are supposed to be in a deep sleep, regenerating ourselves, cleaning, flushing out the toxins of your body. It's important to make sure that we are having a good quality sleep on that first half, and also on the second half. On the second half is actually the phase that we dream, and that we consolidate memories, and that we actually work on our emotions. And there's a lot that we do that influence, that impact on a positive way or on a negative way in our sleep. For an example, what kind of conversation do you have before going to bed? What do you read? What do you watch? What do you do? What do you eat? Do you work out before going to bed? Do you eat heavy stuff and then you just go immediately to bed? Do you engage in very tense conversations before going to bed? What's the temperature of your room? What's the amount of clarity, of light that there is in your room? There's so many things that we can tweak to improve your sleep. So we can actually add certain foods that they are relaxing. There are certain minerals such as potassium and magnesium that they are very calming and soothing. So we can do that as well. We can also include certain supplements that they help with the quality of your sleep, but pay attention to how you actually live your life, right? And how you prioritize your sleep. If your perception of sleep is something that, well, you know, like I don't need much, like you carry as a badge of honor that you sleep 4 or 5 hours per night and it's good for you, I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's gonna bite you in the ass after some time for sure, because sleep is crucial, especially if you are on a weight loss journey. Absolutely, is exercise, movement, something important in this whole wellness puzzle, for sure. But it's something that needs to respect your body, that respects your age, your sex, your metabolism, that respects your capacity as well. It's not supposed to be something stressful, because, well, exercise per se, it's something that creates stress in the body, and we don't want that, right? We actually want to control the amount of stress that we create in our body. And at the same time, it should be something soothing. It should be something that's not gonna actually create more problems, right? When we just go beyond what we can do. For an example, certain people, especially people that are stressed out, I wouldn't recommend them to do HIIT training, for an example, or to do anything that's just very demanding, exhausting for the body, because imagine if their bodies are already stressed out, the last thing that they need is to put more stress. Instead, what's better? For them to practice something more restorative, especially if it's a blend of breathing and exercise. For an example, Tai Chi or Qigong or yoga. I love yoga because I really sync my breathing with the positions, and it's amazing because I practice deep breathing, diaphragmatic breathing as I do these poses, and I feel that on those days that I don't have much energy, I shouldn't be forcing myself to do something very intense, like to go for a HIIT or to a HIIT training or to do like a boxing class. No, I honor, like my body needs. And sometimes I find, like today I need to do something more soothing. So I always tune in into what my body is asking me for. There are days actually that I feel so energetic and I want to, like go for a run. And you see, there's not a magical formula for anything, I think, in life. We really need to find out what works best for us. As long as we are moving, any kind of movement is really important.